Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Escondido in California, where today was a beautiful day, nice sunshine, and again, the nice cool temperatures. So I'm really enjoying these nice cool temperatures right now. Um, let's see. So yesterday I had some artichoke and spinach dip. I read the ingredients prior to purchasing it. There were no onions in there. And for those that you don't know, I have reactions to onions. They tend to clean me out. And so last night after that, I started getting the typical stomach cramps and feeling everything moving, and there they were. But the label on the Parmesan spinach dip, sorry, Parmesan artichoke spinach dip, jeepers, can't remember what I had. Sorry, it's been a long night. I've been up all night. Did not mention it had onions in it, yet I had the onion reaction. And so poor Zeffie had no clue what was going on, and but she insisted on sitting beside me, making sure I was okay. I'm not sure if she was freaking out or if she was comforting me. I'm going to take it as a little bit of both, because she'd never seen me throw up before, so that was kind of interesting to, she'd had to sit there and she put her paw up on my leg and whined. So I think she was trying to comfort me, so I'm taking it as comfort. But yeah, so that is the reaction. Been up all night with the thing, and it's like, oh, I've got, see these suitcases under my eyes. So yeah, been up all night with that, and of course every time I get up, she would whine in the crate, and so it's just been one of those days, and it's like, ugh. So anything I wanted to get done today did not get done because I was absolutely shot. I am exhausted. But we did have week 4 of training for Zeffie, and today we were learning about weight, and that was interesting. Weight and come. Oh, excuse me. Weight and come. Those were the two things that she was learning today, the two commands. So, but before we left, I did my little recipe to see if it would help settle my stomach down. I took my biotics and set my biotics and my Marmite. Yes. New Zealand Marmite, yum. I don't know what it is in this product, but it does actually help settle my stomach. Put it on some bread, and so I had to get some bread. On some bread with some butter, some Marmite, yum, and that along with the biotics and a banana, and I was good to go for the afternoon to go to training. And Zeffie got her week 4 of training. And week 5 we're not going to be there because I have to be in LA for the day for my mastermind group. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do with Zeffie to make sure I can go, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening at the event, and plus I haven't seen everybody up there in so long. So we are going to, so I spoke to the trainer about it, and she's got a very good friend who's also a dog trainer as well, who dog sits. So we're going to give her a call to see if she's able to take Zeffie for the day, because I don't want to board her, because that would be an overnight thing. And so we'll see how that goes. And I also spoke to her a lot about Zeffie's separation anxiety that she has, and she recommended thiamine, L-thiamine or L-thiamine, one of those two things, and show me the products on the shelf. And she says, she just uses the human version. Like she goes to like Sprouts or something and gets it, but they actually had one that was reasonably priced. So I got the chews. So we're going to try that on Zeffie and see how that works. Got her a new, harness. Got her a harness today, because I've learnt that when she's on the harness, she walks a lot better than if she's if you've got the leash attached to her collar. Sorry, my brain is gone. It's fried. If the leash is attached to the collar, she seems to be not as willing to listen as she is when she's got the harness on. So we got her a brand new harness today, which looks spectacular on her. And she finds it very comfortable, and she didn't object to me putting it on her. The other harness that I have for when we're in the car, and this one I can also use in the car as well, but the one that I typically use, I'd actually mistakenly left it at home, totally forgot about it, and I was running late, so I didn't have time to come back in and grab it. And she doesn't like that one at all. But this one, I put it on her in the store to check for sizing and everything else, and she just stood there and let me do it. Normally, if it was the other one, she would be like backing up and trying to get around me and away from me and all that. She did get a couple of new toys, and she's busy chomping on one of them right now, and supposed to be some tough toy, but there already appears to be stuffing coming out of the top. It is is it a platypus or an alligator? Can't quite tell with these stuffed toys half the time, but it's one that she chose. And they had, buy one, get one 50% off. And the one that I got was already on sale, and they had, get 50% off the second one. I was like, sweet. Because I like to give her a variety of toys to chew on, because she is a very big chewer. She's been trying to go after the edge of the banquets here in the dining booth and the edge of the recliner and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, no. So I always make sure that she's got a variety of toys that she can chomp on. And she's trying to... This thing's like about this long. And when she has it in her mouth, the tail just hits the ground, and she's trying to shake this thing. It's hilarious. Zeffy, bring it here. We're still learning bring. Although yesterday we did really good. She was, her really big squeaky toy. I have to make sure she doesn't have it after a certain time, though, because in a campground you have quiet time, which is usually from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., where they don't want you making any loud noises that would disturb other people. Well, she's got this one squeaky toy that is very loud and can actually be heard outside the RV. And so I have to make sure that she doesn't have access to that in the evenings. So I have to kind of hide it. And then she goes on a hunt for it. She's a little hunter, this one. But anyway, so recovered from my bout with the onions, thanks to my biotics and my Marmite. And tonight, hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep, because I basically got none last night. I had an hour here and there, and that was about it. Very disjointed sleep last night, if I did get any. And because I was up most of the night. Oh, and then I found out I might have a battery problem. That was the other thing, is I got woken up at one point in the night, and there is above the bed, in the cabinets above the overhead cabinets, there's 2 speakers there. And the one on this side was doing this fast sound, like a very fast dripping sound or clicking sound, and all that. And I, what the heck is that? And I thought, has Zeffy and her playing hit something with one of her toys, or hit the stereo with the toy? But then I went to the other side, and there was no sound coming out of that one. I thought, this is weird. And so I came out here and checked and as I walked up to the stereo, there's a speaker above the passenger's chair and one above the driver's chair, and the one above the passenger's chair was making the same noise. Excuse me. I thought, well, that's really weird. So there's 2 speakers out of 4 that are making these really weird clicking noises. And so I looked at the stereo, and on the stereo it's got it has a time thing on it, but it has a toggle switch above on the control panel, and when you're traveling, you put it to travel, and it runs off the engine. It gets powered by the engine. And when you're in park, you put it there, and you can play it without the engine running. So it'll run off the battery, or it'll run off the mains. And when it's in park, there's a little clock that comes up on the display. And when I'm in my recliner, that's the only clock in the place I can see. The other clock I have is up on the microwave, which I can't see from the recliner. And otherwise I've got to go pick up the phone. And it's just nice to have that clock there on the dash that you can see from the recliner, because it saves me having to pick up the phone or that, because I can be watching a movie, glance down, see what the time is, and then carry on. So the clock was off, and I thought, that's really weird. So I looked at the toggle switch, and it was in park, and I thought, well, that's weird. And so I picked the travel, put it back to travel, nothing happened. So I put it back to park, and the light and the time came up, and I went, oh, okay, we're good. And then it just faded out to black, and I thought, well, I'll put it back into travel again. And then something on my head said, check the battery power. And on the dashboard up there, I've got these little buttons that I can press to see how much fresh water I have, how full is the gray tank, the black tank, the LPG cylinder, which that one doesn't really work because I'm at half a tank and it says I'm at 3/4. So that one's not quite in sync. And then it's got one to test the main battery and the auxiliary battery. So I pressed the main battery, and it said it was at 6.6 something. And it's normally around 13.6, 13.8, 13.4. It fluctuates between in the 13 area, point something. And it was down around 6. And I thought, what the heck's draining the battery? That's weird. And so I checked the auxiliary battery, and that was at full power. I thought, well, it's 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I'm going to deal with this in the morning. So I'll leave it in travel and see what happens. And so when I came out this morning, I went over and checked it, and battery was at 12.8 or 12.6, somewhere around there. So it was almost fully charged. And so I thought, great. So I turned the park thing back on, switched back on for my radio, and my little clock came up. I was like, yes. And it stayed up. And I thought, great, we've got that solved. Maybe. maybe not. And then went and had a shower, got dressed and all that stuff, came back out, and the clock was gone again. Went over, checked the battery, we're back down around 6.6 again. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I put a call of help out to my people in the Fleetwood Bounder group to say, have any of you ever come across this? Please don't tell me it's my battery. I have no idea how old the batteries are in this thing, but it looks like I could end up replacing a battery. So I've got this little list going of things I need to do before I hit the road. So it's going to probably end up spending a day or two at the in the service department at Sunrise, because they did a fabulous job last time when I took the vehicle in there. So it's going to go and get its oil change. I'm going to take it and get oil change done, get the leak fixed on my skylight over the shower, get them to check the batteries, and I need them to check the furnace as well, because we're going to be hitting some, I looked on, we're getting down into the 30s this coming weekend, overnight temperature, and I'm like, yeah, I probably need to have the furnace going, because I don't want to leave the heater on at night, which I don't typically leave it on at night anyway. We just have it on a couple hours in the morning, no, an hour in the morning and a couple hours at night. And that seems to be suffice. But if we're going to get down to the freezing, like it says on my little weather thingy on the phone here, it said that it was going to get down to 34 overnight on Saturday. So I'm like, yeah, that's a little cold. We might need the furnace going before then. So this week we'll be getting things checked out in the RV to see what's going on. In fact, they have ones that do, guys that do house calls, and if it's stuff that they can't fix, then I take it into Sunrise, because they charge a little more per hour for the labor than what the guys who come up here, like the RV doctors and all that sort of stuff, that come and check things for you. So that's our adventure for today. So I got through my onion attack. We got through week 4 of training. Zeffie is quite happily chomping on a tough toy, which is supposed to be tough, but the power of the chewing on this dog, tough toys don't stand a chance. I'm sorry. She's got black bits laying on the floor, which is the edge of they got a black webbing thing that goes around it, and she's already got black bits of it sitting on the floor there. I wonder how long this toy is going to last. We shall see, but there's a squeaker in there somewhere and she hasn't found it yet, so she'll be going after that first, take that out, and then she'll destroy the toy. But anyway, that's it from me. I am absolutely exhausted, and yet we've still got to go do our evening walk, which we'll probably go do right now, and then I think it'll be an early night for bed, make up on the sleep that I didn't get last night. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, hei konara.